Welcome to Four Good Stories, where we each talk about four good things happening in the world to bring a little positivity to your weekend. My name is Addison.
And I'm Corinne. For Good is proudly brought to you by Hope for Good, a free subscription service supporting families of children with cancer and other critical illnesses through monthly care packages filled with toys and other items catered to the children's likings.
We are going to jump right in. We have some really good stories this week. One thing I want to note, it's like 75 outside right now. So it's going to be a quick podcast. Everyone go out and enjoy your day outside. Maybe throw this in your headphones. Take a little walk outside. It should be a great weekend. First story, giant tortoises returned to an island after 200 years. A major ecological restoration milestone happened in the Galapagos Islands. Giant tortoises are roaming Floriana Island again for the first time in nearly 2 centuries.
Yay!
The native tortoise population was wiped out in the 1800s by whalers and invasive species, unfortunately. Scientists have spent decades breeding tortoises with a lost genetic lineage. I've seen that that's like a new thing now. Like we could even possibly bring back like dinosaurs because of the DNA we're able to pull from the bones and stuff, which is so far beyond my head.
I didn't know that.
So I'm super grateful for scientists who know so much more than I do. We all have to have our lane. Now conservationists are reintroducing them to restore the island's ecosystem. This is really good news because it shows that long-term conservation projects can actually reverse extinction damage, and that tortoises are ecosystem engineers, kind of like the beavers we talked about last week, and they can help regenerate vegetation and habitats. All of these animals that we lose to extinction play a big role, and when we lose those animals, it affects other animals, it affects communities, it affects vegetation. So this is just really good news. I know each week we usually cover that there's somewhere that an animal is being brought back. Sorry. That an animal is being brought back.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's just really cool. I know they say we lose like hundreds of animals a day, but it's really exciting to know that we are getting ones back that don't even exist anymore. Right. So it's really awesome.
Okay, my first story is about a 6-year-old from Pittsburgh. Her name is Pim, and she is a Daisy Scout who shattered a major cookie selling record this season. The kindergartner sold more than 75,000 boxes of Girl Scout cookies, reaching customers across all 50 states. Her success didn't just come from traditional cookie booth. Pim and her family use social media, especially TikTok, that's where I saw Pim, but to share videos of her cookie sales journey, which quickly went viral and helped spread the word to millions of viewers. Along with online promotion, Pim also kept up with classic Girl Scout tradition of door-to-door selling, and at one point she even managed to sell around 20,000 boxes in one day. Girl Scouts of Western Pennsylvania say her effort isn't just about cookies, it's also about building connections and inspiring other scouts around the country. And it all started when Pim was just 3, after seeing older scouts selling cookies and deciding she wanted to do it too. Now, just a few years later, she's turning that childhood inspiration into a record-breaking season and showing how a little creativity, determination, and social media can take a Girl Scout tradition to a whole new level. God. Pim is so stinking cute on these videos. Like, she's like this little 6-year-old girl, and her mom just videos her, and so Pim does all the talking, and she's like, okay, my goal is to sell 100 boxes today, and then she sells thousands.
75,000 is crazy.
I know.
That's a lot of cookies.
She is so cute. I almost bought some from her, but I didn't, but I probably should.
My next story that I read, I thought it was really cool, I wanted to share, is they have now started working on a first major non-addictive alternative to opioid painkillers. This is a new class of drugs targeting NaV1.8 sodium channels, I think is how you would say that, is emerging as a powerful alternative to opioids for treating pain. These drugs block pain signals in peripheral nerves instead of affecting the brain, and clinical trials showed pain relief comparable to opioids. Crucially, they don't cause addiction, sedation, or respiratory depression. Why this is good news is this could completely change the way we manage pain, especially ongoing, like a huge opioid crisis. I think even Demi Lovato has talked about like her struggle with prescription medicine stemmed from a car accident where she was prescribed painkillers for the first time. So I know that that's something that's incredibly ongoing. There's people that are so afraid of the addiction that they go through surgeries and different things and experience this pain just head on because they're so afraid of that addiction quality of these drugs. So this is going to be life-changing and hopefully help people not only stay off of getting addicted to painkillers, but it could help people get off of painkillers as well. And this represents the first major innovation in pain medicine in decades.
Wow. My next story is about Cards Against Humanity. You ever play that game?
I do.
So the makers of Cards Against Humanity say they plan to refund customers who may have overpaid for the game because of tariffs imposed in recent years. After the Supreme Court of the U.S. ruled that certain tariffs were illegal, the company announced that it received a refund from the government, and 100% of that money will go back to the customers who bought the game at retail stores and may have paid higher prices. In typical Cards Against Humanity style, the announcement came with a snarky message on its website telling fans that if they overpaid, they can submit proof of purchase and the company will pass the money along once refunds arrive. The creators say that they never raised their own prices, but retailers likely increased the prices after tariffs drove up costs, meaning shoppers may have unknowingly paid more. The move stands out because many companies are seeking billions in tariff refunds, but a few have promised to share money with customers. I also saw this with, was it Arizona tea? And because they've been 99 cents for years.
As long as we've been alive.
Like years. But I think it was a TikTok video where someone was like, oh, it's like $1.50, whatever. And Arizona reached out and they were like, if you see any of our tea for more than 99 cents, like tell us the gas station name or wherever they find it, and then they'll correct it with the place. So I think it's really cool that big companies are doing this.
It's awesome. It's refreshing to see
Yeah.
businesses caring about the consumers.
Yeah.
That used to be kind of everyone's business model, but we have sadly moved away from that. My third story is about a regenerative agriculture boosting harvest for 60,000 farmers in Kenya. A regenerative agriculture program has already helped around 60,000 small farmers to improve soil health and increase crop yields. This initiative, focusing on techniques that are commonly used here, like composting, crop rotation, reduced chemical inputs, and soil restoration. This is really good news for Kenya and for a lot of places where they don't have kind of the active education about tending the crops. Is that, one, it's helping these farmers sustain their farms. There's more food. There's more money. That's always going to be great for the community. It's going to be great for the economy. And then it makes agriculture more resilient to climate change, which is a really big issue we're facing right now with a lot of places. Is the climate's changing, and it's changing how they can grow their crops. It's changing what crops can be grown. And a lot of times these crops have been grown there and sustain communities for hundreds of years. So it's really hard to change. And this restores degraded land. That's kind of where crop rotation comes in, and soil restoration is making sure that the land is healthy and can always produce good crops. So I just thought that was a really cool story.
I wonder if we do that in the U.S.
Well, I think that's why you see fields that are beans and then they are wheat. Right? No, corn. Yeah. I think beans, the soybeans, like, put like nutrients into the soil, and corn like takes it and puts out like other nutrients. I think that's why the fields are always rotated, because
Oh.
it makes them like they basically support each other. I don't know.
Not a farmer.
Yeah, not a farmer, but that's like the base of my knowledge.
My third story is about the NFL, and they say this year's Super Bowl was designed to be a net zero event thanks to major recycling efforts and carbon offset programs. At events as massive as the Super Bowl, trash can pile up very quickly, and sometimes it's around like 60 tons of waste just in one game. So, organizers rolled out a massive sustainability plan. Across the stadium and surrounding events, hundreds of recycling stations and sustainability staff help fans sort waste correctly, while a reusable and AI-powered recycling system guided people to the right bins. The results were very impressive. Organizers say hundreds of tons of materials were recovered, recycled, composted, or reused, dramatically reducing what normally would end up in landfills. Even the decorations got a second life. Items like event signage, fencing mesh, and carpeting were donated to schools, artists, and community organizations instead of just being thrown out. It's all a part of the league's sustainability program known as NFL Green, which aims to leave a lasting environmental impact in every Super Bowl host city.
That's really cool. With like the Olympics that just happened, you always see like the where they build these Olympic stadiums and then they just kind of like abandon them. So hopefully that's just a step forward to a lot of our big events, making them more sustainable, to where we don't have as much just waste going on with these big events.
I think it's cool that they included like the fencing and the carpeting. I would have never thought like that would be.
It'd be a fun job to be
Yeah.
the person who has to be like, what can we do with this sign to give it a second life? I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
On to my last story. It may be my favorite story. I just love things that feel so simple, but have such a big impact.
Mm-hmm.
So this is about a man who felt he needed a more fulfilling line of work, and he began a mobile laundromat to wash the clothes of Philadelphia's homeless population. Joe Richardson admits it feels like a second nature to wash and dry his people's clothes. Something one supposes was engendered in him after he began work at his family's laundromat business. In 2021, Richardson had just been released from prison where he had served a 14-year sentence. And though he was grateful for the chance to get back on his feet, he felt he needed a change of direction. 11 years earlier, so while he was in prison, he had thought up the idea of the mobile laundromat while incarcerated and felt that the time had come to give it a try. Now, for a few hours every week, Richardson volunteers his time to wash clothes on the street. I thought this was really awesome. I at first didn't realize that he had been in prison.
Mm-hmm.
He had thought of this idea in prison, and when he got out, he immediately thought of others. I think it can be really easy to go through something like that, to be incarcerated for 14 years and be down on yourself and really struggle. And I think even just volunteering a few hours to look at how other people have it and to give back to your community and use some of your talents for others is so life-changing and impactful.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought that was a great story.
That is a good story. Okay, I had to bring animals into it somehow. So my last story is based in India, where a wildlife rescue organization, which is called Wildlife SOS, recently deployed a brand new elephant ambulance, and it didn't take very long for the vehicle to get its first call. The patient was a 27-year-old elephant named Veer, who has been forced to work at a so-called begging elephant and was suffering from a serious leg injuries after years of labor. Rescuers found Veer in rural Uttar Pradesh and quickly began treatment before loading him into a specially designed ambulance. The truck is built just for elephants with stabilization systems, harnesses to reduce pressure on injured legs, and access points so veterinarians can monitor vital signs and give medication while on the road. Because elephants have to stand while traveling, the team made regular stops so Veer could rest during his multiple-day trip. Eventually, he arrived safely at the elephant hospital at the conservation center in Mathura, where he'll receive long-term care alongside more than 30 other rescued elephants.
Just know if there's not any animal stories in a week, we're probably being held at gunpoint. That was really good.
Addison will insert the picture of the ambulance. It's so cute. The elephant, like, they're so, like, sick and sad, but then they're in this, like, little, or not little, it's not little, this truck. And it's so sweet what they did for this elephant. And I need one in the United States, specifically in Evansville, Indiana.
An elephant or an elephant ambulance?
Both. I just want to see it on the road. Like, driving.
That would be cool.
With the sirens going off. Wee, wee. Okay. Finally, the best thing is that through our program Hope for Good, over 350 children with critical illnesses will receive a free care package this month to spread a bit of love to families going through so much. To learn more or to donate, you can visit our website at forgoodcommunity.org/hopeforgood.
Those were this week's 4 Good Stories. Until next time, keep looking for the good, and if you find any, feel free to share it with us at addison@forgoodcommunity.org, and we will gladly share it on the podcast.
If you're subscribed, you can drop a comment, and you will be entered into our giveaway, and you can pass on your story. That's good, by sharing it to someone who could use it.
Join us again next week to see how the world gets better, 1 week at a time. 4 Good Stories, because the world has more good than we think.
Yay! One and done.
It probably should have been more than one.